All right, we're back at it for flip lesson. Well, this says 103, but it's actually 107. All right, let's cross that out quick, make that correction. All right, this is lesson 107. Don't feel bad, because lesson 103, which is really where I got some of this stuff from, was all about perimeter of complex shapes. Now we're going to look at area of complex shapes. That's the difference today. Now, as you look at this shape on the screen, you may say, how in the world can I find the area? It's complex. There's lots of angles, right? We understand that usually area, we take length times width. And as you look at that, you say, oh, how can I do that, right? Even if you had a parallelogram or a trapezoid or something like that, or even a triangle, which you know how to find area of all those things, suddenly none of these formulas seem to fit because we have more sides, more lengths, more widths than what fits into that equation. But the fact is we're going to actually use this equation today, and we can use any area equation, because when it comes to complex shapes, to find the area, the first thing you need to do is you got to break it down into a simple shape. So there's a couple different ways to do that. All right, and really the approach is how you think it's easiest. Now sometimes the book is just going to show you how to do it, and it's going to say do it this way, but really it's you look at your shape and you can say, okay, how can I divide this into 2 or 3 or 4 or however many equal shapes so I can find the area. And so in this case, I'm going to draw an imaginary line there, and when I draw the imaginary line there, suddenly I've created 2 shapes. I've created this rectangle and I've created this rectangle. And now I can very easily solve for this because I know how to find the area of a rectangle, right? I'm going to take this side, which is 16 inches, and I'm going to multiply it by this side, which is 10 inches. Okay, so 16 times 10 gives me 160 inches squared. Now that gives me the area for this area right here, right? But how am I going to find the area for this over here? Well, I know the length of this side, so I just got to know the area of, sorry, the length of that side or the length of that side. To do that, right, since I know the total length of this right here, I can subtract it from the length that I'm not using, right? So I can take my 20 and I can subtract from 16. So 20 minus 16, and I get an answer of 4 inches. And so now I know that this is 4 inches, and so I can take 14 times 4 and get an answer of 56 inches squared. Now that I've found both areas of the simple shapes, now I can add them together and get the total area of my complex shape. And so in the end, I'm going to end by adding my 160 plus, that's not a good plus, my 56, and get a total of 216 inches squared, or square inches. So we have our first example. Let's try it again, right? This time, we can look at our shape, we can think, okay, what's the easiest way to break this down? Now, since I know this side and I know this side, this time I'm just going to make my line go like that, right? So I don't necessarily have to make long rectangles. You can really look at it and say, okay, how's my math going to be the easiest? So right away I can say this is 24 inches, and this is a safe way, another safe way to really guarantee that you're just doing one area. Oops, that's not inches, that's centimeters. Let's change that. Come on, eraser, there it is. All right, and then I'm going to use that same process, right? I need to know the length of this side right here, right? I knew the length of this right here, so if I subtract that from my total length here, right? I'm going to change colors just to make sure we're a little clear. If I get those colors right there together, then I can say, okay, 12 minus 4 is going to give me an answer of 8 centimeters. And now I can take 18 times 8, and I'm going to get an answer of 144 centimeters squared. And I can write that in here so I understand that this is that idea. And then I just need to add this to this, right? And so in the end, I'm going to add my 144 plus my 24 and get an answer of 168 centimeters squared. So in the end, you're breaking down your complex shapes into simple shapes to be able to solve for the area. And then using our principles of perimeter to help us find our missing values. All right, here's a complex one, even more complex than what you had before, but use those same principles to find the area of this figure, right? And once again, right, this 4 goes right here, and this 6 goes right here, and this 8 goes right here. And with that information, you should be able to solve all the different parts. That's it for lesson 107.